Hey folks, this is Bardic Dragoon. Welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania Circle of the Moon. So when we last left off, we had taken on the penultimate boss fight in a less than an epic encounter, leaving us with only two things left to do in the game. The final boss and the optional side area, the Battle Arena. Today we'll be taking on the latter of those two, which is to say the Battle Arena. Which is an interesting idea in the game, and honestly getting prepped for it is a bit of an experience, because, well, two things you'll probably notice immediately looking here. My level and my stats are much higher, and the timer is ridiculously high as well. I've actually broken the timer. I never realized this before, but the game can only count to 99 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. After that, it just stops counting even though the game keeps going. Or at the very least, if it does keep counting, it doesn't have a way to show it. Because, yeah, in order to get to the level that I'm at, I had to do some grinding. Some of it more practical in the last area of the dungeon there, or last area of the castle that we were in there, the devils and the dark armors. I ended up fighting a lot of those in order to, well, first of all, the devil is the not including encounters in here which are stronger and thus have drop more experience, or any boss fights. The devil is the second highest experience dropping enemy in the game, and he also drops the mirror armor, which is a plus 300 to your defense, and that actually makes it the third or fourth most powerful piece of armor in the game, at least as far as raw defense. It doesn't have any intelligence boost, but as I explained, intelligence really doesn't matter here, as the game will just auto-drain your MP at such a ridiculous rate, it doesn't matter. And then I also picked up from the dark armors there 2 pairs of double grips, which the way double grips work is a little bit odd. You actually have to have 2 of them in order to get the full benefit, which is a plus 75 to all of your stats, making having 2 of them the best option for accessories if you're looking to boost multiple stats. If you want to boost just a single stat, there is for each stat a item that will give you a 100-point boost at the cost of a 25% penalty to everything else. So if you equip 2 of those, it'll give you the biggest equipment-based bonus to any stat that you can get. The downside being that you'll have a minus 50 to everything else. And of course, if you put 2 different ones on, you'll end up with 2 plus 75s and 2 minus 50s, which means that this is going to be better anyway. But yeah, as far as the Battle Arena, they just skip through the text there. It's basically a challenge room. You have to go through 17 rooms, each one with a specific enemy configuration, and, well, as you saw, my MP just pretty much instantly drained completely went through a near instantaneous drain. And yeah, so basically it says you can't use DSS. That's not 100% true. You can use DSS, you just have to it's really weird because you basically have to use items to restore your MP, since it doesn't drain your MP until you're out of the menu. Restore your MP with items, and then immediately use a DSS ability, and, well, sustained abilities aren't going to cut it, because you're only going to have it for a second if you're lucky. Ow. However, things like, though we don't have access to them, I haven't gotten the cards for them, the summons that you can learn in the game work very well in here with that trick, but they're really one of the few things it does. But yeah, so it drains your MP, and although it says you have to do it all in order, you don't have to. As you'll notice here, there's a little place I could slide through. If I do that, it will allow me to leave the battle arena and kick me out somewhere. I forget specifically where it boots me out to. Oh no, that's right. If I do it here, it'll allow me to go into the chapel. And yeah, you'll come across those in different areas after the first 3 rooms we just cleared, and then each room afterwards with the exits either kicking out to the chapel or right there over the saves point that we were started the game at. So you can technically leave, but if you do, you have to start all over. But if you can get to the end you get probably the most powerful piece of armor in the game, which is, I believe it's like a plus 400 to your, like either plus 4 or 500 to your defense, with a plus 10 to all of your stats, to all of your other stats as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good piece of equipment you can get, though arguably it's one of those, you know, pointless unlocks. If you can do this, you probably don't need that piece of armor. Particularly because the only real time to do this, I mean, you can get into here at any point after you beat, what's her name? Carmilla, whatever it is. But it really doesn't make any sense to go here until after you beat, was it Hugh? Yeah, Hugh, the boss we beat last video. Simply because the area that you fight him in is, well, as you saw, the items that I got that were the drops. There's one other piece of armor you can get, but it's a rarer drop, and I think you still, and it's if you beat Carmilla and go to down in the underground warehouse underneath the leftmost save point there, in that vertical shaft there is a enemy, Lilum, which is the highest experience drop for a non-boss, non-battle arena enemy, and she also has the spiked armor, I think it's called, which is, if I remember correctly, this was 300 for what I've got now, right? Yeah, 300. I think that one is like 350 or 400 with a plus 10 to strength. And then there's one other piece of equipment more powerful, the cursed armor. Actually, I think that might be what she dropped instead, which is a 550 defense boost, the highest in the game, but you take a 10-point penalty to all your stats. So yeah. Alright, this room is stupidly easy. Don't even need to pull out my whip. Alright, making good progress here. Not that I've been counting the rooms. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just cleared the 7th room, okay. So we're actually about the halfway point already. Though this comes one of the first really challenging rooms in the game, because bloody swords are stupid. Oh yeah, I forgot, bloody swords can poison you too. Right, I might want to do something about that. Alright. Alright, now we've got to deal with poison armor. And yeah, a lot of this is finding out how to safely and intelligently fight the enemies while taking as few hits as possible, because, well, you're going to want to conserve your HP and or healing items. Hearts less so, especially the way that I did it with the grinding. As I said, I ended up getting the equipment and doing some grinding in the observatory. Is that the last area? I can't remember. The area with Vampire Killer playing in the background. But I spent probably more time, partially because it's a much less efficient way to do it, but I'm always for grinding without having to actually put any effort into playing the game is the way that I prefer to grind. And you don't have any less, effort required than turning on a barrier and standing under an enemy spawner, which is what I did with the mummies and the sarcophaguses, whatever multiple of that is, in the catacombs right after the boss door, which, as I said, it's an infinite enemy spawn. So if you just put on, I particularly use the Serpent Jupiter, the ice barrier. You basically can just stand there and the enemies will continually spawn, and just stand there and they'll walk into you or drop on top of you, and when that happens, you get experience. It's only 3 experience per enemy, but you leave the game running for the few days. As I said, you notice I broke the timer counter there. I turned the wrong way. They end up, you can get a lot of experience. It's just not very efficient way to level up. There are more efficient ways, but as I said, if you're feeling lazy, that's the best way to do it. Plus, they also drop hearts, which allow you to recover 10 hearts. So, in addition to that, and the fact that you get about 15 hearts after clearing each room, that pretty much is a really good idea, or I really don't have to worry about hearts. Darn. I mean, not that the damage that any of the enemies in this room do is like all that much, but the curse effect, considering the fact we can't use DSS cards, is incredibly crippling here. Actually, no, it's not worth getting the cure curse, because these are the only things in here that can afflict the curse status, if I remember correctly. And since after this we're just gonna, in a separate video of course, we're not doing this in the boss fight back to back. Are we at the halfway point already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No! Well, we've already cleared 10 rooms. Doesn't feel like it. I was saying, well, after this we're just gonna fight the boss fight, who does not have the curse status of the ability to inflict the curse status effect. Oh, great. They're desynchronized. Their easy to dodge pattern is no longer easy to dodge. Okay. Time to ingest some healing. Potions are such uselessness here. Alright. And then, yep, there's some more you guys here. But this, I can have each of you come on here once, which is a lot easier to deal with you guys, if I'm playing remotely intelligently, which doesn't always happen, so, yeah, it's anybody's game here. What did I say, we were at 10 there before? Yes, that's 11, or, so that's room 11, room 12, which I hate, mostly because the succubi there are kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Man, I was doing good without using healing items. We still got one more potion high, and there's some enemies that drop stuff like that in here. Die. Okay, there we go. Room, just make sure I'm counting right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, that was room 12. Okay, I was counting right. So then room 13 of 17 is next, and I think, yeah, okay, this one's a pain to deal with. Okay, if I stand here, yeah, that can allow me to dodge those. Alright. There we go. Okay, and wait for you to start spinning. Ow! No, 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 no. Get back up here. Okay, try that again. Oh, I ran out of hearts. Da, 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 da. That's what I get for not paying attention. Actually, you know what? Make my life easier. Wait. There we go, okay. Now the Alaroon. Yeah, it's a lot easier if you can actually get close to those, as then you can actually hit their weak spot where they take more damage while standing rather than having to jump around like an idiot. Alright. And where's her... Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Because yeah, if you actually freeze frame when the whip animation is going, it actually has a stage where it's curled upward at the end, and that actually will hit her in the weak spot where she actually takes full damage rather than the greatly reduced damage if you hit the flower part rather than the naked girl part. And okay, this room. This room is all about controlling what enemies can see you. Oh! Not that it's going to do much good, but... Oh. Okay. There we go. Because, of course, only the enemies that are on screen can actually fire. But there we go. That's that room cleared. Which means... 14 room... Oh, crud. This is where it gets hard. 15 and... Well, 15 is probably harder. The hardest of the last three. But 17... Well, 17 is the last one. Of course, it's hard. Okay. Now we'll leave that on reserve just in case. Start by clearing those guys out. And yeah, these are devil armors, one of only 2 enemies in the game that are unique to the battle arena. But they're really not that unique, as they're, well, if you're looking at the attack pattern, I'm sure you realize they're just basically beefed up dark armors from the last area we were out in. There we go. Actually, thinking about it, the other unique enemy in the area isn't that unique. And that is these here white armors, which are basically beefed up versions of holy armors that we fought in the underground warehouse. I can go through this room without getting hit if I am intelligent about it, but just as extra insurance, let's heal. There we go. Alright, and one last one. There we go. Alright, that's room 16. Now... room 17. Okay. I doubt I need all of my hearts. But this is going to be a pain in the butt, especially because he's stronger than normal. And that is the devil, or a devil. But if I'm patient, in theory, there we go, okay. Now I've got him properly set up. Oh, wait, he did his barrier. Yes, okay. This should work out very well. Alright, I've got him into the pattern. Oh! He's dead! Alright! Final, and that was it. That was the battle tower. Our reward? Shining armor. Which gives us, well... let's unequip it and show. Shining armor. It gives us a 500-point boost to our defense and a 10-point boost to the other 3 stats, making it kind of the across-the-board strongest armor in the game. It, of course, also filled in a large portion of the map here, putting us at 99% map completion and dropping us right back at the entrance. Now comes the real challenge. Getting out of here! I mean, we could always run through it again, but why would we do that? Actually... no, that's a bad idea. Never mind, scratch that. I was about to think. I was thinking maybe if we did like the first 3 rooms and exited out that way, but that wouldn't be much better, except that the enemies would be weaker than they are near the entrance of the battle tower. But that's okay, because I has DSS again! Behold the balls of fire! Alright. That was good. Get away from me! yeah, I guess I'll go back to my favorite save point there one last time. And when we meet next time, we'll be taking on the final boss. And one more teleport, I think. Yep, there we are. Okay. Actually. Because I haven't gotten enough use out of this ability. I love doing that. Oh, anyway, this has been one more episode of Let's Play Castlevania Circle of the Moon. We've got some really sweet armor, beat one of the hardest challenges in the game. Tune in next time for the final boss and the big finale. Until then, as always, later folks.